Are you ready? Let's geek out. It's Tuesday evening's weather for Weather Geeks. It's the Mahoning and Shenango Valley's most in-depth, geeky, detailed weather forecast. We're going to dive into the snow and what's to come. But first, I want to do a quick review of the river flooding situation across the region. Thankfully, the waters are receding fairly quickly this evening. If you watch the 6 o'clock newscast, we had some reports from Leavittsburg of all the flooding issues and evacuations that had to take place up there. But the good news is here in Leavittsburg, the Mahoning River has dropped near the bottom end of minor flood stage and even a little below that. So the flood warnings have been dropped. And we expect the river to continue to recede some as we go into the night tonight. Into tomorrow, it should be below 7 feet by tomorrow midday and afternoon. Over in Warren, the Mahoning River has also dropped out of flood stage. Flood stage begins at 10 feet. Now at about 7.5, 8.5 feet. So good news there in Warren and down in Youngstown, where the water tends not to fluctuate quite as much. It's still holding steady at around 14 feet, just kind of at the bottom of minor flood stage there. So again, as the rain is now well past us and it hasn't rained for quite some time now, the waters continue to recede. All right, today, it was miserable out there today. 34 this afternoon. The old record for the coldest high temperature on today's date, 35, so we beat that by a degree. So April 17th, this was the coldest one on record since the mid-1930s. We didn't hit a record low this morning, but this is the coldest high temperature on today's date on record. So, and the wind made it even worse, and of course it snowed for a lot of the day. We ended up picking up about 0.9 inches worth of snow at the Youngstown Warren Airport. Now, there was never 0.9 inches probably on the ground at any one time, but you add up all the little dustings and close to an inch at the airport. Some places had the grass covered occasionally. Some places only had their car windshields covered. Just kind of depends on where you are. But it was just kind of miserable out there. These snow showers came and went. I want to back up to kind of early to mid-afternoon, right in through here. I mean, some of this was pretty heavy snow. The visibility was low when I was coming into work this afternoon at about 1:45, 2 o'clock, with some of this action slipping across 224 and a lot of Mahoning County. I mean, the visibility was reduced. It was a pretty legit snow squall, even though, again, it was having a hard time sticking to anything. It is mid-April, after all. The sun angle at this time of the year is very, very similar to late August. Of course, didn't see any sun up there today, but the sun's influence still, it's exerted through the clouds. Still, incoming solar radiation means a lot at this time of the year, even with a thick cloud cover up there. It does make a big difference as far as snow trying to stick to the ground. All right, big picture for tomorrow. A better day tomorrow. 53 is still 7 below average, but hey, we'll take it. It's still 19 degrees warmer than today. 13 hours, 27 minutes of daylight tomorrow. Still picking up 2 to 2.5 minutes of daylight per day. Daylight, of course, continues to increase rapidly at this time of the year. Our sunsets are now about 5 or 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. All right, we're going to be in pretty good shape for a lot of the daylight hours tomorrow. In fact, a fairly sunny period coming up for midday, early afternoon. I think it'll cloud up fairly quickly towards late afternoon and evening, and starting around sunset, there could be a shower, and showers are a little more likely then, probably at around 10, 11 o'clock. Now, as we go deeper into tomorrow night, and this low pressure system pushes east, the counterclockwise flow around it means that, we've got cold enough air for snow showers around as we go into Thursday morning. I think Thursday is going to be a lot like today. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to be cold. It's going to be blustery. There's going to be snow showers around, perhaps even some squalls that can reduce visibility. So, and temperatures, again, staying in the 30s. I think Thursday is a rerun of today. Hopefully, this is the last hurrah. Hopefully, for many, these will be the last snowflakes we see of the season. Maybe a lingering flurry into early Friday morning. Friday, fairly cloudy, I suspect, for the first half of the day. A little bit brighter second half of the day. And there's our friend high pressure, which will build in and give us a good-looking weekend, albeit a fairly cool one, especially on Saturday. Now, as far as the snow on Thursday, again, I think it'll be pretty similar to today. I wouldn't be surprised if the airport registered a half an inch to an inch officially, but in most locations, in most backyards, the occasional little powdered sugar dusting, especially on windshields and on decks and maybe some grassy surfaces as well. Again, low impact other than just being annoying on Thursday. And again, wind chills will be no higher than the 20s Thursday afternoon. Well, the trend is our friend in the longer range. Pretty cold at the end of the week. And this is still a chilly day Saturday despite some sun. I think Sunday's going to be a beautiful day. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Temperatures approaching average, and then we'll get a little above average Monday. And actually, our streak of nice days should continue early next week. So hang in there. It's coming. Better days are ahead. And here's a look at our long-range European model numbers. Let me make this so you can see it a little better. There we go. You'll notice the trend here is not for a lot of really warm days compared to average, but it's also a lot better than what we've been in. This is a less cold pattern, is the way I would characterize this. It's not a warm pattern, it's just less cold. Now we're looking at an ensemble mean. What does that mean? Well, out of the 51 members of the European long-range models, this is the mean of all those 51 members. So, a lot of times when we look at ensemble means in the longer range, it kind of smooths out. Some members may have days in the 80s, some may have days in the 40s, and when you smooth it all out and average it, it ends up being in the 60s. So, inevitably, as we go into the longer range, there's going to be a warm day here and there, a colder day here and there, and we just have a hard time seeing those extremes as we go farther into the longer range. So what I want you to take away from this bottom line is the pattern will be less cold, a warm day sprinkled in, maybe a cold day sprinkled in, but overall we're about to bust out of the worst of this springtime ridiculous cold pattern. So we'll thank our lucky stars for that. Thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. Check out tonight's newscast at 11. We'll have a fresh update on everything you need to know for your Wednesday and beyond. And if you don't have the Storm Tracker 21 app, that's your friend. Our forecasts are in there and manually inputted by our human forecasters here at 21 News. Very little, if any, model information will be found in our app. I think it's hands down the best one you can find for our local area. All right, enough promoting the app. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for watching.